Only on ABC 57 News, the impact of forgiveness. The first ever interview with Quentin Burnley. This is how we know the 24-year-old from South Bend. A mugshot taken after the young man hit and nearly killed Tiffany Brantley a year ago this month while driving drunk down Jefferson Boulevard. Tonight, he breaks his silence. It's a story we often don't get the chance to share from the person on the wrong side of the law. And he's sharing it only with ABC 57 News. A story of forgiveness, faith, and second chances.
We were just having drinks for my friend's birthday, and then it continued to his apartment after the bar, and I had a couple drinks there, and we were just hanging out, and then I just felt the notion to leave.
It was a drive home that would change Quentin Burnley's life and the life of 31-year-old Tiffany Brantley forever. How often do you think of Tiffany?
I think about her every day.
A lifetime of thoughts after a very bad decision. As Quentin was pulling out of his friend's apartment complex drunk, Tiffany was lacing up her running shoes for an early morning jog just a few blocks away, as she explained to our Emily Evans last month.
Straight out of my apartments and turned left, and after that, they said it wasn't even a half a block that I made before it happened.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
The accident has just occurred on Jefferson Boulevard. I just heard it.
Do you remember driving? Do you remember when you left the apartment complex? Were you having a hard time driving? Do you recall any of that at all?
No, like I don't remember like having a bad time driving at all. The next thing I remember is, hitting Tiffany.
It was May 29th, nearly a year ago, when Quentin hit Tiffany right here along Jefferson Boulevard at nearly double the legal driving limit. He drove drunk over 2 lanes of traffic, hitting Tiffany and then crashing into this building.
And when I got out of the car, I saw her body, and then I realized what I had done.
There's an accident, pedestrian on the street right now.
Tiffany, can you describe Tiffany?
It's kind of hard for me, but I do remember, it's something that for a long time, whenever I closed my eyes, I would see she was just broken. She was just broken, and there was a lot of, blood. It's kind of hard to talk about, but there was a lot of, she was bad.
So bad, in fact, officials feared that she wouldn't survive her extensive injuries. A shattered pelvis, 4 broken vertebrae, a broken tibia and femur in her left leg.
That's all I kept asking. I was like, is she okay? Is she okay? And then the paramedic finally told me that she was alive and they taken her to the hospital. At that point, I knew I was going to go to jail.
Quentin was evaluated at the hospital for bumps and bruises and then booked in here to the St. Joseph County Jail. At the very same time, Tiffany was undergoing emergency surgery.
When I woke up and they told me what happened, yeah, it was bad, it was horrible, but in my mind I was like, oh, I'll get through this.
And she did. Over the past year, the avid runner who was told that she may never walk again stood from her wheelchair, taking her first steps towards a new future. All the while, Quentin was in court facing very serious charges.
I knew it was going to be bad. I knew that you can't just hit somebody and not get in trouble.
On September 15, 2014, Quentin pleaded guilty to hitting Tiffany with his vehicle while drinking and driving. He spent 3 months behind bars. He can't drive for 2 years.
They don't see me as, the guy that I was, 23-year-old college student who just had a bad night. They see me as a terrible person who deserves to be behind bars for years because of a mistake I made.
And a woman who was robbed of so much, who could be so resentful, had this to say.
I want him to be okay, but I want him to learn, because it's not a good thing, because I don't want him to ever do it to anybody else.
I take it as a wake-up call. I need to start making changes in my life. Alcohol, it was never really my main thing, but it destroys people, and I wasn't supposed to go down that path.
A path he says God saved him from, giving him a second chance.
The last thing I say in my prayer is, please let Tiffany Brantley's life be better than mine, because she deserves it.
Is there guilt? Is there guilt that knowing you can go to work and you can walk around okay and the struggles that she deals with every day, is that hard? Do you think about that?
Yeah, I do. I do. And there is a lot of guilt, but that goes along with trying to forgive myself. I already know that Tiffany had forgiven me, but forgiving myself is the hardest part. I'm not there yet.
I'm not there yet. Quentin is back at work as a server and plans on going back to school to Ivy Tech to study business. And after the two ran into each other at the bus stop just a few months ago, sharing a hug, even posing for this picture together, Quentin says that he plans on walking side by side with Tiffany at her fundraisers to support her and engage in community discussions about the dangers of drinking and driving. As for Tiffany, she tells our Emily Evans she is getting stronger each and every day.